Hey y'all. Welcome to Conversations with Friends. I got it right this time. Usually I be trying to figure out what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, but welcome to Conversations with Friends with your girl, Trivia, founder of Unique Purpose Inc. Today we're gonna be doing something a little tad bit different today. Usually, I'm always interviewing somebody. I'm the one leading the conversation. I'm not gonna call it an interview. I'm trying to see what I'm doing. I'm still trying to figure it out. I just figured it out while I was talking. I'm not doing interviews. I'm doing conversations. So usually I'm the one doing the conversation. I'm leading the conversation. Today I have Pastor Curtis. He will be the host tonight. He will be leading the conversation with me. This is going to be so much fun. Curtis, how you feel about this?
You know, hello everybody. First and foremost, peace, love, and prosperity, everybody. But it puts me in a mind frame of Usher trading places. You know,
Okay.
I'm on that type of energy, trading places.
Okay. Well, do your thing then, Mr. Curtis.
Oh man, once again, welcome everybody. I'm excited to be here. Um, hot topic as always. Anytime dealing with Trivia Kennedy, hot topic, and once again, conversation with friends. Let's get educated. I'm on that type of energy. So please like, please share, please comment, because I know that this is going to be a blessing to so many people. I'm going to say this, then I'm going to start with the questions. I've been around you for a couple of years now. I've been around you for a while, maybe 6 years in total. But for the past couple of years, I really been paying attention to everything you do. I so often, y'all say, I'm her biggest fan because that's to be true, at least in my eyes. Is that true to you?
I don't know about fan. I don't know what the word fan. I probably say supporter, but you do you how you do you.
Okay, you said
But you is
supporter,
though.
biggest supporter. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Tomato. Whatever it is. But I'm like right there. I believe. I say that to say I hear you being interviewed so often. I feel like I can share your story at this point. So my goal tonight is to put a different flavor to it. Same foundation, but a different flavor. And here we go. So you blessed me with the opportunity to be interviewing you, so I'm grateful. But I entitled this interview the Butterfly Effect. Y'all might be like, why does man say the Butterfly Effect? Ain't this a movie? Yes, it's a movie, but it is a terminology as well, a psychological terminology, and it has an impact. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm big on words because words is has value to it. So by me knowing you once again for so many years, especially now these last couple of years to this degree, it just paints a perfect picture of my conversation with you. The butterfly effect. Let's talk about that really quick for everybody can be on the same level of understanding. The butterfly effect is a metaphor that describes how small changes have large consequences. Metaphor that a small change may have a large consequence. So first things first, we may think of consequences being a bad thing. No, consequences, cause and effect, whatever the case may be. So I'm just coming from that type of energy. Do you feel me, Trivia Kennedy?
Yes, Pastor Curtis.
All right, audience, do y'all feel me? I believe this is definitely something to be talked about on this evening. So, with that being said, with no further ado, as we conversate, my first question to you, trivia: what do you wish people understand? Matter of fact, let me pause. I don't know if y'all can see this better way. I got cue cards, y'all. I got cue cards, y'all.
Let's get educated.
Get educated. But if you can feel the material, oh my God, I'm sure you can see. Oh my God, this woman coming up. I tell you, I got cue card. I just think that's the dopest thing. Going back to my question. What do you wish people understand about living with HIV?
um, First. the first thing I want everybody to know is we just like y'all. It's nothing different. It's nothing. Um. Okay. I'm gonna explain. So the question people always ask in my interviews a lot of times is, so how you feel? I feel like you feel. It's not a feeling. I don't feel like HIV. HIV is not a feeling, right? So we the same like y'all, we just take a pill. That's it. That's the only difference with somebody living with HIV and somebody that's not living with HIV. We just take a pill. And then the other thing that I would really, really, really want somebody to know about living with HIV is the reason why I am HIV positive is because I had unprotected sex just like everybody else. For some reason, people think people with HIV, like we were sleeping around, we had multiple partners. They look at us like we're nasty, like we're trifling, like disgusting. And I don't understand that. I don't understand why people look at people living with HIV like that. And all we did was have unprotected sex, like so many other people have. So those are the two things that I will want somebody to know, not only know, but just understand about somebody that's living with HIV.
No, hey, thank you for sharing it. And key word, right? Once again, words is powerful. Understand. So I want to go piggyback off what you said. The first thing is you take a pill. You know what I mean? So you have a model. I have HIV. HIV don't have me. And from my understanding of the education that I get, one main thing that you're able to say that because you take your medication, viral levels are low, and you're able to live a normal life. So that's
Yes,
the first thing. With is just the pill. So I express that of what you expressed because it's medication. So many of us are on some type of medication. It's just we don't have to take it day. Well, some of us got to take things daily. I had a heart attack a couple years back, and I had to take my medication daily for about a year and a half. So I can understand that aspect. So and now I'm on a medication called Prep. You know what I mean? So I take that every day. You know what I mean to prevent me from contracting anything in a sexual way. So now I understand that pill daily. But even with that, I think that's really really powerful for those people to know that it's a pill. That's you take a pill, I don't take a pill. You know what I mean? So I think that's really beneficial for people to know. And the second thing is say the second thing one more time.
um the second thing I want people to know about somebody living with HIV is that person, some of us, majority of all of us, in these days, times are different back, but we had unprotected sex. That's how we got HIV. um that's it.
And I wanted you to
We,
say that for a reason. Because it's such a stigma. HIV, but it's sex. Um, and this is what I call ministry at its best. Anytime we open up our mouths, I believe we should be an ambassador to God. And so this conversation, I think, is really powerful because people have sex. We can talk about it, preach about it, teach about it, but if you're man up, you're gonna do what you want to do. But you had sex, you was committed to one person, and you contracted it from that one person. And the understanding part of it is, for those that's out there, if you don't protect yourself, it's a great chance. I wish I had the statistics, but that one time sleep with somebody. I don't know if it's a such thing of a statistic, but it's a possibility. Well, 100% that you leave yourself open, not being protected. Correct.
yes.
So one person dedicated had a child on the way you was having a child, you was pregnant, and you found out you had it, and that's the story. So I think it's safe to say, let's get educated. I love these cue cards, by the way. Well, let's get educated. You're leaving yourself open by not knowing your status. You're leaving yourself open by even trusting to a certain degree.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And let me make it clear: I don't want no sound bites. Say don't trust with love, but you really need to be sure as much as you can with the person that you with to give you some type of comfortability. But even with that, it's no safe haven with it at the bottom line.
Also too, this is what I always say. I've been saying this from jump. When you have sex with somebody, you giving them access to the most important thing in your life. Your life. We look at sex like it's a feeling, like, oh, he gonna make me feel so good. Oh, she got that gushy, whatever y'all say. It's just it's exciting and it feels good. But on the other side of it feeling so good, we got to understand that having unprotected sex is how people get HIV. It's just this that simple. If we could get that part, I think we can stop a lot of the stigma. We could stop a lot of newly diagnosed people, and we could stop a lot of other stuff too. If we could just get that part right. I am in love. I'm in marriage. I'm in relationship. I'm in friendship. I am in whatever with somebody, and I had sex with them. Period. If you're not using condoms, you are leaving yourself. I think they call it now condomless sex. I think that's what they call it. If you having condomless sex, you leaving yourself open for a few things. And also too, prep is for everybody. So I don't even understand why. Maybe we
Happy
can
you
do a
brought it
live
up.
one day and just talk about prep. Prep is for everybody. Even if you don't, if you know your status and you don't know somebody else's, if you take prep, you'll be good. But we okay. I went all off into something else.
Well, no, that's actually no. Actually, I brought it up, so it's good that you elaborating on it. Please share.
But yeah, I just was thinking like a lot of times, even if you is and you married to somebody, and y'all both go to the doctor together. But what if you still don't really trust that that person's still gonna be faithful, right? If you really don't trust that and you still want to be with that person, there's nothing wrong with going to get you some prep pills and you taking those pills to protect your own self. They gonna do what they gonna do anyway if you fear that they're gonna do something. So at least protect yourself by learning about prep. And I'll come and do a live one day to just talk about prep. Just for everybody. Prep is for everybody.
I love that you said that because prep is just that. We're living in peculiar times, and it's sad that we the Bible says, "Put your faith in no man." You know what I mean? It's not to down anybody, to look at nobody suspect, but people are people. As I like to say, people make mistakes, people make bad decisions, people get vulnerable. So to ensure that you're taking care of self, prep is for everybody, not because you're dealing with somebody with HIV or you have to fear that you get gonna deal with somebody with HIV or you're sleeping around. It's just a precaution. It's being proactive that now, thank God for science, they got to prevent that you can get that from anyone, everyone, whatever the case may be. If you with one person, 10 people, whatever the case may be, it's a preventative measure that you can ensure 99% that you cannot contract anything from your partner or anyone else, correct?
Look at you.
I'm an advocate now. I'm an advocate, you know what I mean? And I love it. I love it actually. Because I have once again I dealt with family pertaining this is way before you. You know, for all my viewers or your viewers when you're a platform. But I done dealt with this for I wasn't even a teenager yet when I first had a family member to be affected by this situation, and it always stuck with me. And now that I am in a relationship with you, it's just bringing it to the light. You know, so it's an honor for me to be having these conversations, and because of you, I have more education, and also because of my own research. By the way, I have more education. So for those, once again, the first question was, what do you wish people understand about HIV? Please leave a comment for yourself as well, because so many people really, this is a really, just a common question. So thank you. Let's go with the second question. Can you share your experience with mental health pertaining having HIV and how it impact your daily life then and also now? It's a two-part question because you've been having this situation for 20 years.
Right.
It was a then and it's a now. And I want to focus on mental health right now because once again, I've been around you for a little while and I understand even more pertaining mental health, pertain anything, any and everything, but to HIV, just to as a focal. Can you explain once again your experience with your mental health with HIV between then and now?
I was telling you last night when we was on the other lab, like I'm always yarning. It just don't it. I ain't yarned all day, and now I'm yarning all of a sudden
Yeah,
because
I'm like, wow,
because we on
born
here
interviewer.
anyway. So I've been saying this for years too. It's a lot of stuff I've been saying for a long time, but I'm truly starting to understand what I've been saying for a long time. But
Well, while she yarning, one, I come to know that you wake up so early in the day and you like off running. It's like your eyes open and it's like ready, set, go. So that's a whole nother conversation. And this is 7 o'clock normally her bedtime. Y'all like she's ready
right,
at 7 o'clock. But
but I've been
go
saying for a long time, I don't have an HIV problem. I have a mental problem. I have been saying that for so long. And I think at first I used to say it to make myself feel better. At first, I just make myself feel better because I was not worried about dying from HIV. I was worried about other things pertaining to HIV. I'm just not now figuring out that I was ashamed that I was HIV positive and it played on my mental. Every time I went around people, I'm like, I wonder they know. I wonder they think this. I'm just wondering what they thinking about me all the time. And that affected my anxiety. My anxiety was really, really bad. I didn't like being around people because I thought they was looking at me or I thought they was thinking stuff. Or I'd be thinking like, I want to have many of them positive if it ain't saying nothing. So that played a lot on my mental years ago. But fast forward, I went so many years like that. Just thinking negative all the time about how people looked at me because I was HIV positive, and then even looking at my own self like, oh man, I'm HIV positive. Ain't nobody gonna love me. Ain't nobody gonna take me serious. My kids gonna hate me when they grow up. It just always was something tied to HIV that was making me feel sad, make me feel sad, make me feel depressed, making me feel hopeless, helpless. Helpless and hopeless is two different things, but it's really the same thing to me. But I was feeling down all the time. Like HIV is stopping me from being happy. I really truly thought that HIV, because of those words, it was preventing me from love. It was preventing me from being successful. It was preventing me from actually just being alive. I felt like I just was here and I was not existing. And it went on for so long to actually something like I'm better now with it. But sometimes I still get sad for no reason. I could just think something HIV and I just start thinking about it. Just sometimes I don't even know why. I honestly don't know why I do it. Okay, for instance, the other day I just instantly got sad for no reason at all. And I started feeling like I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy. Um, everybody feels sorry for me. It just was bad, and I really had to get myself together. Like all of this is just in my head. This is not real. These are the lies that I'm telling myself. So I finally got out the bed because it was hard for me to get out of the bed, but I finally got up. It's just I know it probably sounds like I'm rambling
no,
and
not at all.
maybe sound like I'm rambling,
No.
but I don't talk about mental health a lot. So for me to talk about it, I'm trying to actually understand what I've been going through for so long that I'm finally now trying to figure it out. But what I do now to to help myself when I'm having these my one of my friends, she called it manic episodes. I think that's what she called it. What I do now, I try to think about what I'm thinking about. That's the main thing because HIV is not stopping nothing. Period. That's just it's just a thought. Those are just words. Those are just letters. They're not affecting me. I take my pill, I'm fine. So anything outside of me taking my pill and I'm outside of the pill and me taking the pill, what I'm thinking is a lie. So I have to understand what God said. not what I said. My thoughts are not my thoughts, right? It said the Bible said that God thoughts is not my thoughts, and my thoughts is not his thoughts, right? But my thoughts, I got to learn how to think different. Because if I don't learn how to think different, I'm gonna continue to think, to be sad, to be depressed, to feel unworthy, and all these things because of my HIV status. So now I think about what I'm thinking about. I try to read something positive. Now I tell Curtis like how I'm feeling. I don't keep it to myself like I used to. I used to tell my kids, but I know they probably tired of it now. But I tell Curtis I'm not feeling good right now. Or I try to just mainly thinking. I just try to think better. That's how I cope with my mental when I'm having a mental breakdown for no reason. Why is you thinking this? Is this true? This is not true. I just have to have I gotta have a little talk with myself. So that's how I cope with what I when I'm having my manic episodes, as Sister Maya say.
Well, thank you for your vulnerability with this, because it's not an easy topic. And truth be told, let's take HIV off the equation right now. So many people are suffering from mental health issues, but they're not vulnerable enough to share it because it's such a vulnerable thing. You see, I keep using the word vulnerable. That's like at our weakness, right? At our most softest moment, and our most fragile moment, and it takes a lot of courage to talk about it. It's just so happened that we're talking about mental health associated with HIV, and I commend you. Let me say this. I'm gonna share our story if you don't mind, trivia. This past Sunday, we went to a ministry, and um, the pastor, the co-pastor, he was like testimony time, testimony time. We just walked into church and testimony time, and people sharing their testimony. I shared my little testimony, but you shared your testimony pertaining mental health, and it was so amazing. And I'm in the pulpit, right, y'all? I'm in the pulpit, so I got that view, that pastor view, right? And I'm able to see the crowd. So I'm seeing the crowd, not really paying attention on that level, but I am able to see kind of spirits in a certain degree. And you shared your testimony to trivia pertaining to mental health, and a Hispanic lady right behind you, like, thank you, bless you. I'm dealing with this in real time. And you gave a past testimony, no matter how recent, how far, a past testimony, and she was dealing with real time. And I saw this woman countenance, her what's the word I want to use? Just her outlook on being numb to like being enlightened. Like, I can make it, I can get through it, and she was able to enjoy the experience of church and also get power off the experience of church because you met her where she was at without even knowing.
Yeah,
And I
it was a
go ahead.
crazy. It was a It was a crazy situation because I actually was not going to say anything, but it's like the spirit wouldn't let me not say nothing. I had to say something, and I actually, once I was done, I was glad that I did because she said that I gave her hope, and it's amazing that you bring it up because in those situations when I was feeling like that, I said I felt hopeless and helpless. But me sharing my testimony, I gave her hope. But when you was talking, I was just trying to remind myself to say this. I actually forgot again. Oh, the reason why the reason why it's easy for me to be so vulnerable, I I always tell y'all I am really quiet. Y'all don't believe me. Nobody seems to believe me that I'm quiet and I'm actually shy. It's a part of me that's still that way. And I've been this way all my life. But I always knew I had something to say. And when God, I now I know that it's God, I always say something. But if I could say I have HIV, anything else in the world can be said. Anything. It is it's like it's not just me. It's not me. This is not me. This is the spirit of God in me that give me the boldness to say, yes, I'm HIV positive. Whatever else I talk about pertaining to HIV, that comes from God. I don't wake up like this. I just told you I was saying the other day. It is not just me. It is the spirit of God in me that leads me to be the way that I am. So it's easy for me to say anything else because HIV is the worst thing ever in the world you could think you could experience. So me saying I have mental issues sometimes is easy. That's a piece of cake.
And amen. It's really powerful. Um, once again, I'm really like proud to be able to interview you right now. It means a lot, honestly. And it makes me think of the whole terminology of the butterfly effect. Once again, how small changes can have large consequences. You dealt with this before on a small on a beginning level of your life, and I can only imagine what you was going through in the beginning stages. You ain't know what to do, who to turn to, who to trust, whatever the case may be. If you're gonna, and it wasn't about live or die. It's gonna be to have kids, and are you gonna be restricted from your free will as a human being, as a mother to want to have children? And there's small stages, and that alone brings on so much stress. For those that ever dealt with any type of mental health issue, depression or whatever else, that brings on so much. But for you to still choose with the little power that you have in the beginning to wake up, to at least if times that you wasn't able to get up, at least attempted to get up, or even have the desire to get up, and look at you now, 20 years later, and you have a saying that you say, "Forever healing." And I think that's powerful because so many people think just because you got through something that you're past something.
Right.
And if you're not past it, you're not healed. No, I'm healed because I'm here now. But I'm still struggle from time to time with what I went through or what I'm currently going through. But I'm able, what I like to say, I'm able to make my praises bigger than my problems.
What I it's weird. We study saying all these little sayings that I say, but I also say a lot that I visit the mental prison. I don't stay no more
Don't stay there.
because I put myself in the mental prison. Like I said, I take my medicine. I'm fine. So all the emotional things I was going through, I put myself in there because I was sitting in my thoughts and I was not getting help. I was not reaching out for nobody for help. So I sat in it. So I always say it's a mental prison that I was in. And now I'm not there. I don't live there anymore. But I visit sometimes. And when I get there and I see, just imagine going to visit somebody in a jail. You got to go through all these steps to even before you get to them. And then by the time you get there, you can't stay long. You can stay an hour or two, and then you have to leave. And that's how I am when I have my episodes. It takes me a while. I go through it, and I see it. This is not where I want to be at. I do not want to feel this way. I'm not going to allow myself to feel sad today. And for me, everybody's situation is different, but for me, being sad is a choice. Being depressed is a choice. Feeling like I'm hopeless is a choice. And the reason why it's a choice, because if I know this makes me sad and I continue doing this and I be sad, that was my choice to do that. But that's just me. Some people be clinically depressed. They have clinical issues. I don't have a clinical one. This is just me and my mind by ourselves. It's like a constant war with me and Satan. We trying to who gonna win? Who gonna win? Because if I can get her, she ain't doing nothing. And I refuse to live in prison again. I'll visit. I see what's going on sometimes, but I don't want to live that no more. If that makes sense.
No, that makes a world of sense. You know how so many preachers say, "I don't know who I'm talking to, but this message for you." I know who exactly that you talking to. You talking to everybody, because whoever's watching right now. Can you comment hashtag choice? Because we have a choice. Hashtag it, please. Hashtag it because that was so profound, and you spoke to everybody. I believe in my soul on whatever level that they're on with the battle. You know what the Bible said? We don't battle against flesh and blood, but the spirits and principalities. And it goes deep. It goes deep within the mind. The mind, oh my God, you said so much. I wish I could stick to this question, but I got to continue. That was really powerful. How do you manage your mental health and what coping mechanisms have been helpful? So how do you
Um,
manage your mental health and
I
your
guess
coping
like
mechanisms?
I kind of like answered it already in a sense. The way I cope with it is first off accepting where I'm at, right? Like if I'm feeling sad or I'm feeling down or whatever kind of episode I'm having, I accept that I'm there. Because a lot of times when you can't accept that you feeling that way, it makes you feel even worse. Like
Accept. So that's first. Acceptance.
first, accept. I accept that I'm
Okay.
there. I feel bad today for whatever reason. I accept it. This is just what it is for me right
Amen.
now. I accept it. And after I'm done accepting it, I figure out what I'm gonna do with it. Now what I'm gonna do.
What I'm gonna accept. What I'm gonna do. Okay.
What I'm gonna do with it. And once I figure out what I'm gonna do with it, then I do something. The Bible says faith without works is dead. You gotta do something. You cannot sit in it. You cannot compromise with yourself because really, when you're dealing with a mental thing, it's you and you. It ain't you and nobody else. It's just you and you. You got to make a choice on what you're gonna do. And if you do nothing, you sit in it. But if you do something, you'll feel better. So that's how I cope with it within myself. I have to do something.
Accept what I'm gonna do and put work into what you decided what you're gonna do.
Like my work, I'm explaining what my work is. My work is I haven't been doing this late. I went years, maybe 2 years without doing this, but I was doing so many different things that I was not healing correctly, right?
Mm,
But now that
okay.
I've learned that I was not healing correctly. Now I'm able to look at my situation totally different, right? So now I'm speaking to now. Now when I get like that, I have to do a video. Now I have to start back doing my videos because now I know how to deal with my mental episodes that I have. So now I have to speak and I have to share these things with someone else. But when I go through something, it's not just for me. If you live through something, you done with it. It's not yours. You got to release it to someone else. So now I got to go back to what I used to do. I used to wake up all the time and tell my YouTubers, today my mental state was this. I had to think about it. I was like in it for years, telling them where I was at mentally. And then I went years and I didn't do it no more. But my main thing was when I get out of the bed, I'm gonna make Satan mad and I'm gonna do something. Do something. I'm gonna do. But now I done did so much stuff, I figured out I still want healing doing. So now I gotta go back to the main thing is taking care of me, taking care of myself,
Mm.
and not trying to take care of everybody else. But I took care of me enough now, so now I can go back and I can try to help the people where I started at with the mental thing. Right? That makes sense.
No, no, it makes a world of sense. It makes me think about if you're on an airplane, the airplane is out of order, gonna crash, whatever. They say put your oxygen mask on first before you help
Yes.
your neighbor. So it put me in that mind frame. So you wasn't healing right at times. At other areas you was healing correctly, but you come to realize the main thing is the main thing. You got to take care of you first. So it sounds like if you're healing correctly, you're taking care of you first. If you're not healing correctly, you're compromising you first.
Well, I'm not gonna say if you're not healing correctly that you're compromising anything because everybody's situation is different. But for me, I'm gonna speak for my own self. Me healing incorrectly was remember what I said, faith without works is dead. Sometimes we use these scriptures and we make them hinder us and not help us, right? You have to do something, of course. But along the way of your doing something, you still gotta take care of something, and something is yourself. So I was doing all this stuff. Starting a nonprofit, starting a publishing company, writing books and this, speed, da, 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 da. But I wasn't taking care of me. Why do I feel sad? I take my pill. Why am I always having these episodes? I'm not being abused no more. Why I still get sad sometimes. But I would not address what it was, and I kept doing until God allowed me to sit down and I figured out way before HIV I had a problem. Hold on.
Mm,
Wait a minute. Way before HIV came
mm,
along, I had issues. I had issues within myself way before HIV came along. So now these issues that I had before HIV is not at the surface because now all this other stuff at the surface. So now I gotta go all the way back and fix all this stuff that happened before HIV so I can understand why I even allowed HIV to happen. So that's what it looked like for me. It was a hindrance. It was I helped a lot of people and I helped my own self, but I would be better now mentally if I would have had got therapy and I just would have had figured out how the question is, how do you you let somebody give you HIV, beat you, and you stay with them? How could you do that? Like a sane person will be like, how you do that? How you stay with him?
So it's safe to say that I know your story is your story. Well, I think it's relatable. I done a lot of counseling, so your story is labeled HIV, and so many other people I talk to is labeled something else. But the bottom line is the root, the foundation of why do you think the way you think? Why you allow things to happen when you know it's toxic? Or why are you even confused? Whatever the case may be. So it sounds like we got to get to the root of who we are and why we allow certain things to take place in our lives when we know it's out of alignment or out of order, whatever you want to name it. Is that correct?
Yes. If you can't, if you skip that part of figuring out that later on in life you will have to figure it out, or you will die not even knowing.
Mm.
And you will just continue to have all these problems, and at some point you'll leave here, because we all have to leave here. But if you don't address that, that's why I always say I don't have an HIV problem. HIV is not the issue. The issue is some other stuff. And when I can, me and you, us, that's living with HIV, if we can figure out some other stuff on the other side of HIV, I'm telling you, to make HIV look like trash, like literally garbage. HIV what?
Right.
Like I made a video a few weeks ago. HIV what? If you could figure out some other stuff in your life, you would make HIV shine, because you figured out that other stuff. And that's what I want to do. I want to do that.
And it goes back to the butterfly effect, a metaphor that describes how small changes can have large consequences. You're not downplaying the effects of HIV, but it goes back to your analogy. I have HIV, but HIV don't have me because you started in the with the small steps to build you with your strength, your confidence, your understanding, to get you at a place to speak of authority and say, even with this, for those that's dealing with HIV, if you pull more of what possibly got you here, you will understand that it's bigger than HIV. You have some mental things that need to be addressed.
And not only probably mental things, it could just be some things like it could just be some things, some other things.
Okay.
A lot of us was molested when we was kids. A lot of us was raped when we was kids. A lot of us didn't finish school. It's so many other things it could be. A lot of us don't even really honestly know what love is. And we done accepted so many different things people done to us because we wanted love. We just wanted love. And if we can figure out, if some of us can just really figure out the true definition of love and what love looks like, that would help heal a lot. It could be so many other things other than mental health, um
Great.
that you have to deal with to be able to understand another thing, you know. But bottom line is, going back to um before something happened to you, if it's HIV or whatever it is, if you can go back and identify some things, you will really know what you're working on. And until
Amen.
we're able to address those things, it's going to be hard for us to heal from things that's going on right now today in our life.
I totally agree. Uh, let me go. Let me jump to the next one because once again, all these different questions I can literally stand on for the whole conversation, but I do want to continue. Next question: what do you wish people understood about living with mental health conditions in general? I know you said a lot, especially with acceptance, and you gave a breakdown: acceptance, um, understand that you got to do some work, and then do the work.
I got a good one for that.
Please.
We know how to fake so good.
Mm.
That's what I want to tell you. We know how to fake so good. Y'all ever? I know every all have somebody that we either know or heard of that committed suicide, and you be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it!
You ain't
How?
lying. You ain't lying.
I can't
You
believe
ain't
she
lying.
did that. She seemed to be fine. How?" But we can fake so good you would never know nothing is wrong with us. That's what I really want everybody to know about mental health. It could be you could be knowing somebody forever. You can literally live in the house with somebody and they don't even know that you go through it. We know how to fake very well. I think we need a Grammy. We can fake so well, make people think that we're okay, and we are not okay. We are not okay. Like for me, I don't be okay, but I know how to snap out of it. Some people cannot snap out of it. And until you figure out, like for me, I'm telling y'all what my mental health issues look like. And it's not a lot right now. But another person's may look different. So I really think more of us need to start telling what our mental issues look like so that we can be able to identify this in other people, because a lot of people commit suicide because they feel like they shouldn't be here.
I love that answer. I love it. It was real, and it inspired me to talk about my challenges with mental health. I remember when I fell into depression. Life was liking too much at this time. It was right around 2004 to be exact. It was too much. And normally my children is my backbone of everything. My kids, because I'm a father, I'm a man, I'm an alpha. So I got to snap out of whatever I'm in. But life was life and a little too hard. And my kids wasn't even a motivation no more. That's when I know it was deeper in me. That's when I knew I ain't know about spirits like that at the time. But I'm like, okay, this is a lot. This is a lot. I can't get out. I want to get out. And as long as I stayed in that darkness, the more comfortable it was to be in that darkness. The more comfortable I was in that darkness, the more I shut out the world. And I thank God for people like you. Of course, I did not know you at this time, but I had a best friend, Shelly Randolph. Salute to you, brother. Continue to rest in power. He did not give up. He did not push me, but he pressed me. Curtis, remember who you are. He ain't said like that, but to give some type of understanding. Remember who you are. The Bible says a word like this too shall pass. That's how the type of energy he was giving. I bring that up to me because look at me now, by the grace of God. But it takes people like you to tribute. It takes people like me. It takes people like my homie Shelly to be vocal and bold with power and authority to talk these things because I believe that this is helping somebody. I know it is.
Yeah, I agree.
I know it is. Um, what motivates you to keep moving forward despite the challenges you face? And this is more than mental health right now, right? You deal with a lot of different challenges. Um, you got, I mean, your organization once again from small and it's rising. So you're dealing with a lot of different challenges. You've been poor. You working for the CDC, so you got the government. You look working for like a partnership, I should say, partnership with the government, partnership with local organizations, and it takes a lot. You got to deal with family, you got to deal with relationship. From my understanding, you just got engaged, so it's like you're working. Did you catch that? So
um,
you're dealing with a lot. So with all these different challenges, what keeps you motivated to move forward?
HIV.
Okay.
HIV keep me motivated. And the reason why it keep me motivated is because it was supposed to take me out
Mm.
mentally, right? It wasn't gonna take me out physically because they had a pill for that. So I wasn't gonna die, but it was meant. Satan was using it to take me out mentally because he knew that God had a call on me. It was something amazing I had to do. So he wanted to take me out mentally. So every day I got to get up and I got to do something. I got to make HIV mad. Satan is HIV to me, right? I have to make him mad every day of my life until the casket closed. Being, I gotta do better with taking care of my own self. I have to do more in the community. I have to do more for my kids, building my relationship with them. I have to do more in ministry. I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do so many different things because if I do not do that, Satan win. And I refuse to let him win because he almost had me. Almost had me.
No, I think that's deep. It actually leads into the next question. I was going to piggyback, but I believe that you're going to actually do your own piggybacking. My next question to you: how do you prioritize self care and maintain your physical, emotional, and spiritual well being?
Whew, need to start getting more sleep. um, so like right now, I only can speak about right now. Right now I'm trying to take care of my own self a little better, right? Because I found love and I got fat and I don't like it at all. It's really, really irritating because I know better. I lost weight before. So that's probably one of my biggest issues. I'm trying to eat healthier, trying to do better. And I have an issue with um so back to what we was talking about earlier with you got to go back to figure out some other issues you got so you can see why you're struggling right now. I have an education issue. I don't have a GED. I don't have a high school diploma, so it's something else that I want to work on. So I'm trying to prioritize things that's important to me outside of making Safe mad because I can make Safe mad all day long and then I sit down and I be sad and I refuse to do that. So trying to prioritize me, doing the things that's going to make me feel happy for me. Not is the difference. Me feeling happy about doing things HIV related is amazing. I love it. I'm gonna do it forever. But it's certain things that's gonna make me feel good about the little girl that was in third grade that everybody talked about because she read slow, right? That's gonna make her feel better, and I can help her heal because I'm still that little girl from third grade. So I'm trying, like I said, right now, at this time of my life, I need to prioritize the things that's going to make me feel better for my life so that I can be better for me. So that's what I'm doing. Far as ministry, I'm doing so many different things in ministry now. That's making me happy because I know these are the things that God want me to do, right? And then I got all these other things. So putting things in its proper perspective, but it's all starting with me. Me doing things for me doing things for God. And I know that may sound backwards because God come first, right? But if you're not able to feel good and you're not able to get up, how you gonna do something for God, right? So you kind of like gotta use me. I'm somebody ain't touch y'all. I'm using my common sense, and I'm gonna take care of me, for I could be good for God. Because if I don't take care of me, that mental gonna keep me down. I'm not gonna be able to do nothing. So that's what I'm doing now to prioritize all these different things in my life.
No, I love it. You put me in a mind frame of my mother once told me as a child, God gives you wisdom, but He also gives you common sense.
Right.
So no, I get it. I respect your truth, and you also said you're putting things in its rightful perception, as far as just identifying it. And this is why therapy is important, right? You
Yes.
can identify it. You finna say something?
No, I said yes.
Oh yes, you can identify. So often we're so cloudy or dazed mentally because we're double minded, we're torn, we can't keep a thought, we can't identify it to be able to recognize it and to even be able to accept something.
Right.
So it's I think it's great for those that's viewing right now that you're identifying, and I believe it leaves a path for somebody to say, you know what, let me identify what self care looks for me, and let me practice wisdom, but also common sense. It's a saying that sometimes we're so spiritually high that we have no earthly value, and I believe so many people in ministry as a whole, we fail people that don't understand spirituality. It's like we gotta shoot for something that we don't understand. We love God, but we don't understand God. And I believe conversations like this bring God to the table. Because for me, right? For me, I don't know about nobody else watching. Now I'm able to see the God in me off this conversation. I'm able to see the God in me. Say, I got to take care of self, which is a temple, right? To be able to have more of God in me so I can recognize what He's saying for me to do.
Right.
And
Before you go to the next question, I want to add too.
please,
Self care looks different for everybody. Like my self care at first was a list of a bunch of things to do. It was so many things I had a thing to do every day, and I started to realize that sometimes self care is just laying in the bed, not doing nothing. Sometimes self care is just get in the bathtub and turn your phone off. Self care sometimes is actually just watching TV and not doing nothing. Self care looks different for everybody. You got to figure out what your self-care looks like. And it's so many different people. People have so many different ways to show you what it look like, but you just got to find your own way with what self-care looks like. And it should always be changing. Like my self-care and my self-development, I'm seeing it's changing every month. And it went from year after year that it changed to outgrew my self-care and my self-development to where I had to change it. I actually done outgrew my spiritual studies to where I can't study like I used to because I've outgrown it. You supposed to outgrow everything that you're doing and change it and do it in another way.
So is it safe that you're saying you have experienced a butterfly effect?
Yeah, free time. Yeah.
Yes, and I believe we all should be at a stage to experience this butterfly effect because we all should grow in some way, shape, or form to be able to elevate from where we was to where we are to where we're trying to go. Um, that's what life does. You know what I mean? But don't nothing literally stay the same. If it's staying the same, you're in a fairy tale, really. You
Right.
know what I mean? Either it's gonna get better, or it's gonna get worse. So I don't nothing stays the same. But this next question I want to ask you as we get ready to close. Um, are there any resources or support system that you found particularly helpful?
Yeah. So y'all, people talk so bad about social media. I swear, like I tell y'all time and time again, I met some amazing people on social media. And I hope I don't leave nobody out. I really don't. And if I do, I'm gonna come back in the comments and I'm put their name up and down. The first, I'm gonna say the first person that came with themselves, resources, everything that has never left will be Sharon. I know awareness. When I first went public, she called me maybe like a few days later. I met her once. We talk, and even if we don't talk, she's still there. I can feel her presence. Like she has helped me in so many ways with the HIV field, with the kids. That man, she helped me with so many different things, has been a big support. I almost feel like a big sister in a sense. She has been really helpful. Crystal, she's in Texas. She has been a big help too. She came with a whole lot. Not yeah, she came with a lot too. Um, who else? Man, it's been so Ron. This guy named Ron that I met along the way. This new lady, Chrissy. It's been so many people, and these are people that I've met through social media. I have not went. Well, I have went to support groups with this lady named Ebony Turk. She has been amazing too. I used to do support groups with her a long time ago when I did stuff here in Chicago. But everything else has been through social media for me. That's why I'm big on social media, and I got all my help on social media. Um, I'm gonna say social media has been my biggest support system outside of you, my family, and people that's been riding this with me the 20 years. But outside of that, it's Jason, Carmen. It's so many people that I have met through social media or through the HIV field, the community that has been a support to me. So I can't name all y'all
No, no,
folks.
I was gonna say it. I know it can be a lot for me just to throw that question out there, and
And
so
but I'm actually glad you threw the question out there because for me being a woman living with HIV, for me to say social media has been my support, that should give other people hope that's living with HIV to reach out to somebody like me or reach out to another person that may be positive. Because a lot of us actually answer our phones. A lot of us actually respond to the text messages, the emails, the inboxes, and you can have a support system just like I have one through social media. I could become your support system. Your support system ain't always people that you know. They not.
one thing about ministry that so many people kind of drawn in ministry for the entertainment just to get high, let them dopamines in their brain kick off just to feel good with no long term results. But one thing I have learned about you and your organization, y'all are here to edify, and it tends to leave lasting effects. You brought up people, some people that you knew for a period of time, some you recently met, and it speaks volume that you're still on this platform because you're doing so many things that you really don't got to be on this platform no more. You know what I mean? You could, but not to this degree. You know what I mean? And it's just me being on the inside of your life right now. Um, it's so empowering that you're still on this type of energy, even in your new day and time. Because you did the small things. Now you're on bigger things where people are literally reaching out to you. I mean, once again, the government, the state, I mean, want to partner with you for you to still be accessible for the viewers right now. Do not take this for granted. Do not take this for granted. I just want to applaud you right now.
I want to say this too, that I remember when I first started doing my videos, I laugh a lot. I'm really silly. Y'all know a lot of y'all that been following me for a long time are goofy. I play around a lot. I had to host my own event and I was so uncomfortable. And I told them this, I'm gonna crack jokes the whole time. But I'm me and I want to stay me, right? I said this a long time ago. I think I've been doing videos 5 years. I want to stay myself. I don't want to change, right? When things are changing in my life, but I don't want to change with that. But I know I have to change in some type of way. But I want to keep doing my videos. I stopped for a long time, but I actually want to start back. I won't, like I used to say, what y'all want to hear about? Give me a topic. I'll come back and I'll talk about it. I want to still do videos. I want to still answer my inbox. I still want to answer the phone when I can. I still want to be that person that is still there. And that's important to me because I remember when I first started out, a lot of people left me on red and they would not reach out. And I understand because sometimes so much stuff be going on. I can't get back to my text messages. I can't get back to my inbox sometimes, right? So I understand now why they did not respond back because they could have been busy, but all of them was not busy. I'm sure they was not because when they start seeing me do all these amazing things, they start apologizing for not responding back. So I don't want to be that person. I want to always be able to help. And if I am not able to help, I pray right now that God give me somebody that's just loving and caring like me so that I could just hire them just to answer my text messages and my inboxes, just so that I could be available for people. And I'm starting my support groups back consistently too, because that would be a way for me to help everybody at one time. So it won't be, oh, I gotta talk to this person, I gotta talk to that person, meet over here, meet over here. I just talk to everybody at one time. That's really important to me. Outside of all the other things that we talked about, it's really important to me for me to be there for people that suffer in silence. It's so important because I suffered in silence for so long and laid in the bed and watched all of the advocates do this, do this, and do this. And I just be sitting like, one day I'm not gonna be scared and I'm gonna do it one day. And I said and I wouldn't say nothing for a long time. And I know there's some people out there doing the same thing. And when your day come and you get the courage like I did, I want to be there for you.
I know I get it. I associate so much with ministry. It makes me think about that person. It's so hard to get inside of a church, right? To get inside of a ministry, and then you finally find the strength to walk inside of somebody's church. Immediately, you're gonna get into the back. You know what I mean? That way, you can get in, you can get out. But the more you show up, the more you get comfortable, the more you can feel it, the more you can sense it. That the pastor is real, the church is loving. You, it's like God organically start moving you up without you even trying. From the back row to the next row to the next row. Next thing you know, you walk in like, hey, I want to be a part of what you're doing right now. So I believe that this is what's happening to somebody. Somebody being it took a lot for somebody to even be on this conversation with friends right now. And I believe because of you, the God in you, they're a little bit closer to be able to say, you know what, I need to be a part of this because this is life changing, and I don't want to just survive. I want to thrive with my life and whatever life is dealing with. And I believe I know the topic is HIV to a certain degree, but I believe I know you have so much more to offer, and this conversation shows just that. And so I'm grateful. Well, my very last question, very last one: is there anything you'd like to add or discuss that we haven't covered yet?
Um, we covered a lot of stuff, but I just want to talk about one thing again before we go. Two things that's really important. Um, I became HIV positive because I had condomless sex. I don't. I want to highlight that I did not use a condom with the person that I loved. If y'all don't remember nothing else I said this whole hour, remember that I had sex without a condom with somebody that I love, that I had been in a relationship with for a few years. Um, that's how I became HIV positive. It's it's like probably I'm gonna say 50. It's 50 people right now having condom sex right now in the world somewhere, right? That don't make them bad people. That don't make them that don't make them nasty. That don't make them not worthy of love. That don't make them not worthy of happiness because they having unprotected sex. So for people like me that's HIV positive, we still deserve love. We still deserve happiness. We still deserve support. We still deserve to be looked at like a human and not like, oh, he got HIV. Oh, she got HIV. We don't want to be looked at like, oh, she girl that got HIV. I don't want to be looked at like I'm trivia. you know, so many people look at us like we the person with HIV and not like look at us like a human. And we did the same human thing that you might do all the time. That's the first thing that I want to say again. The second thing is that prep is for everybody, right? It's for everybody. I don't care what color you is. I don't care what race you is. I don't care how old you is. Because kids now 12 having sex and getting pregnant. It does not matter, right? If you don't know somebody else's status or you may sleep around sometimes, whatever your situation may be, a lot of us is very vulnerable to it. So I believe that prep is for everybody. And more people need to get educated on prep. Not HIV, just HIV. When my logo, my one of my slogans is "Let's get educated." I'm not just talking about HIV. I'm talking about a whole bunch of stuff. I'm talking about mental health today. Let's get educated about mental health. Maybe one day we'll come back and just talk about prep. We need to get educated on more things so that we can teach our households more things about things that they may not know. And prep is something that we all need to be educated on. Yeah, that's all I want to say.
Said a lot. You said a lot. Bottom line, let's get educated. That's really the name of the game. Um, the Bible talks about my people perish for a lack of knowledge, and this is important. And you're definitely doing your part. Love or not, if you love somebody or not, still know your status. And don't, let's just be real. We don't, I have a child, and my child often say, I don't know what you're doing in your free time. And my child said in a joking manner, right? When we have conversations, I don't know what that person doing on their free time, but that's real. That's real, and not to treat anyone suspect, not to criminalize anybody, but these are realities. So if you have, once again, God gives you wisdom, but God also gives you common sense. I will not stress that enough. So please, if you have any type of thoughts, just be be knowledgeable, knowing that I need that prep, and don't just take prep because of that. If you're sexually active, I think that's just like taking a regular low dose aspirin to help your heart rate nowadays. You know what I mean?
That's cute.
You like that one?
Yeah, I like that.
That came out the flat. Right? Came out the flat, but it's real. It's real. You know what I mean? And I thank God that we're able to make it plain for everyone, and because I know some people are ignorant, and I know some people just ignorant, and I know some people just want to go against the grain. So I thank God for you. I thank God for you. Um, I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna get ready to get out of here, unless the the guests have anything to say.
No, that's it. I'm done.
Okay. Once again, a butterfly effect. I just want to encourage each and every one of you. Once again, it's a metaphor. It describes how small changes have large consequences. The small things. We heard her story. Heard her story. The small thing. I just wanted to associate it with a scripture. It's the scripture says, "Do not despise small beginnings, for the Lord rejoiced to see the works begin." I don't know where the viewers at on the day, but whatever it is, no matter how small it is, do it. Whatever education you get today, do it. Whatever understanding that you receive, do it, because God is going to rejoice in it, and the gates of heaven will overflow with his blessings. Why? Because you took heed to this conversation, no matter how small it is in your life. Love
I
you.
got something to say now.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Curtis, I did not know that scripture said that in the end.
Yes. You
This,
didn't?
this, mm,
Yes.
this is, hey y'all. Okay, we about to go, but I'm gonna tell y'all, this is one of the benefits of being with a pastor. I'll be learning all about the scriptures, the parts of the scriptures. I say the half of it that ain't the whole truth. How many of y'all do that? I would say half a scripture and don't even know what the ending is. I got to start back with my study because I did not know the end of that said that.
Yes.
I learned something today. Forget about all that I talked about. I just learned something. But thank y'all for joining. Thank you, Curtis, for doing this. This was really fun. For the first time somebody to actually have a conversation with me. This was a lot of fun. I almost made me cry a few times.
Mm.
Just thinking about old stuff and then bringing it back to the surface of now. But it was really, really good. If y'all have any questions about anything in this lab, if you done made it, we on the hour. If you made it here to this part of this live, if you have any questions or concerns about anything, please put in the comments. Like I said in the video, I'm gonna start back doing YouTube videos, and I will do labs here too. If y'all have anything y'all want me to talk about that I have not yet talked about, if you're a new follower, fan, I already said new fan, and you want to hear me discuss something that you don't know about, put in the comments, and I'm gonna start back doing my videos because that's one thing that is important to me. And also pray for me. God is opening doors for me that only God can open. It's a difference. And I've been saying a bunch of stuff for a long time, but I always said I would go the slow way to the top. I would go the slow way to the top. And the slow way to the top is like I don't even have to go to the top because he has kicked the door in for me. He didn't just open the door. He kicked it open and said, "Go in it." I don't have to go to the top. He said I can just come straight through after he kick it all the way in for me. But I need y'all to pray for me though. Pray for me as I go through a new season of my life with doing things that God want me to do and doing things in the HIV community. It's really important that y'all keep me and y'all prayers for my strength. Not only my strength, my that my faith continue to increase. Because I got this thing that I want, but my faith is not big enough for it. It's just amazing. Sometimes okay. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go because I've been talked the whole other 10 minutes. Sometimes you could believe something that's bigger than you, but at the same time, you be kind of scared. Like, wow, what if it happened? Right? So just keep me in y'all prayers because some big things is happening. So I just want to be ready. I want my spirit to be ready, and I want to stay funny. Y'all enjoy y'all Thursday, and thanks for joining y'all.